Still waters can run dry, and some people don't miss their well into the water run dry. Hello, 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 and welcome. You are listening to the Manifest on Purpose show. I am the host of that show, Kimbaley. I am here to help you elevate your consciousness. I'm here to help you take your consciousness to the next level through some of the things and experiences that I have experiences with my little stories here. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for taking the time to share this space with me today. Thank you for all of those you've invited, and thank you for subscribing here and on the website at Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. And you know how I feel about you. The God in me loves the God in you. Today, before we get started, I want to recognize our sponsor. I do not have our daily forecast for today, but our sponsor for this video is none other than Astro-Numerologist Lloyd Strayhorn and the Star 8 mobile numerology app. This is his information here on the bottom of the screen. If you would like to download that app, and definitely download the app because it's very helpful. It's going to guide you day to day. So make sure that you get that. You can get it at a Star 8, ASTAR, the number 8.com. You can download it on Google Play, the App Store, or you can find it on Linktree/numbers and you, where you can find some of his other exclusive products and services. Numerology is so important because sometimes there's cycles that we go through that we don't quite understand it. Have you ever been through a situation and you're wondering, what is happening to me? Things just seem so different than what they normally are. Well, most of the time, it's probably a cycle that you're going through. But you need to know what these cycles are in order to guide you throughout this cycle and make things a little bit easier for you. Now you can get your numerology report. You can get your numerology forecast for the entire year that details month by month what you can expect to go through. And you can also get a compatibility report, and you can even get one of these reports for your business. If you want to get down to the nitty-gritty of things and you want to get a little deeper, then consider booking a numerology consultation with myself. And you can do all of those things and more at Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. And the information is on the bottom of the screen. Let's just say that you're listening to the audio version of this and you're interested in seeing it on video. Please go to my YouTube page and subscribe, and make sure you share this channel with other people, because not only do I want to raise your consciousness, I want to raise everybody's consciousness. And that's my purpose, and that's what I plan to do. So today, interesting story for you. To me, all of these stories are interesting. Sometimes I need to take a vote and see which stories are the most interesting. But today, we're talking about priming the subconscious pump. Now, you know that's going to start with a story. I'm so grateful for my country or Southern upbringing. I can look back during those times and there's so much appreciation because I experienced a lot of things that a lot of people never ever experienced. For example, one of the things about where I lived at, it was like we was always kind of behind the time. It was a little different. It seemed like the rest of the country was moving forward, but where I was from, people really were doing things the old way. And so to me, it makes me look at the modern day things that are happening and the modern day things that we have, the amenities like lights and running water and telephones. And those things just seem a bathroom, those things just seem so much important to me. And the reason being is because of my grandpa Earl. Grandpa Earl was stuck way back in time. Now, let me give you a little backstory. Grandpa Earl was something else, and I really mean something else. He was a pistol, very, very fiery. My mom was the youngest child, and my grandfather spoiled her rotten. And as he got older in life and he was a single man, my mom helped him with doing things around the house, such as cleaning, um, shopping, and also like taking care of his business and stuff like that. He still worked and everything, but she just handled some of the things that if he had been married, then somebody in the house would have been helping him with, which was very important. And we look forward to going over there because we got to spend some time with him. One of the things that I witnessed her do was to help him find a home. See, the person that he was renting the home from before decided that they were no longer going to rent the home. And so my grandfather, he needed a new home to stay in, but he didn't want to pay a lot of money. He was old school. So my mom found this house, and you're going to have to hold on to your seats for this. His rent was $36 a month. I kid you not. Now, what would you do this day and time with the $36 rent? I know it's unbelievable. She helped him rent this home, helped him move in, cleaned up, and everything. Now, let me tell you about this home. It kind of was like studio like. And I say studio like because it's like you had the bed and the sitting area all in one place. It was like that. But also, it lacked some of those amenities that I was talking about. Things like an electric stove. He cooked on his heater. Things like a bathroom. He had an outhouse, which is the best way I can probably describe that is like a homemade porta potty. Okay. So, another important thing that was missing was running water. Yeah. So one day I was over there and we were cleaning, and you know how children get. I got so thirsty. All I wanted was a glass of water. And I told my mother, I was like, I want some water. And she was like, oh, okay. Go out to the pump and get you some. And I was like, oh, good. I grabbed a cup, went out to the pump, tried to pump some water. No water came out. And I thought for a moment that I broke the pump. Like, why is no water coming out of this? Just think I'm an elementary school child. So I'm trying to figure out what was going on. And I was scared to go back in the house and tell my mom because I knew if I went in the house and told her, I would get in trouble if she found out that I broke grandfather's pump. But I was thirsty. I'm trying to tell you, my mouth was dry as cotton. So I was like, look, I gotta go in here and ask her, I need some water. And so I told her what happened, and she was like, oh, she got up, went outside, and she said, all you had to do was prime the pump. And then she poured a little water on the side. It was some water that was in a bucket sitting right beside the pump. And she began to pump it as she was pouring the water. And next thing you know, a rush of water just started gushing out of the pump. So I captured a cup full of it and started drinking it. And oh, let me tell you, the best water I ever had in my life. The taste I will never forget. It was so delicious and so refreshing. To this day, I have not tasted water like that again. Wow. But what I'm really talking about in this message is not the deliciousness of that water. Oh, I wish I had a glass now. No, what I'm talking about is priming that pump. Before we prime the pump, nothing will come out. After we prime the pump, things begin to come out. In order to prime the pump, we had to pour into the pump what we wanted to come out. And when we did that, it created a vacuum that allowed more water to come out. When I think about that, I think about our subconscious mind. Mm, because truly, the subconscious mind is our well. Everything we want has to go through the subconscious mind first. It has to make it there. How many intentions have you dropped recently? Do you feel like your intentions are just all dried up? Like there's things that you set intention for years ago and you haven't seen it? Mm. You don't know what's going on with it? You haven't manifested anything? And a lot of that is due to what I talk about often. When we are getting to the stage where we want to align with manifestation, we have to begin at the source. The well is the source. We have to begin at the subconscious. And see, if you're not accustomed to introducing or suggesting things to the subconscious mind that you want to see in your reality, nothing's going to flow out. Nothing in means nothing out. And I take that back. Something will come out, but what will come out is what's already been primed in that subconscious pump. So if you're walking around speaking negatively of yourself, then those are the things that are going to come out because they are already primed. It's something that you've already been doing. So, what I need you to get into this conversation is before you can expect to align with manifestation, the very thing you need to do is prime your subconscious pump. And here's one way that you can do it. You can do that using your affirmations. You can use that declaring anything that you want to see come into your life. You can also do that through my favorite, creative visualization. You can begin to see these things in your mind and remind yourself of it because when we deal with the subconscious mind, you got to think in terms of repetition. You can't introduce something to the subconscious mind one time and expect to see results. Now, if you're good at this and have been doing this for a while, okay, maybe for you, that means your pump is already pretty much primed. Imagine that my mom went out to that pump and she just poured a cup full of water into that pump and expected a gush of water to come out. Oh, she would have been sadly mistaken. So you have to make sure that you're suggesting things to your subconscious mind on a continual basis. on a daily basis. And once that happens, you'll start seeing things that relate to it showing up in your everyday life. These are called synchronicities. Like, say, for instance, if it's a certain car you're looking for and you keep priming your subconscious pump for that car, saying affirmations, doing visualizations, doing the vision board, and you go out into your regular everyday life and you start to notice that same exact car on the road several times. So that's what happens when you prime the subconscious pump. When you start seeing those synchronicities, then that lets you know that what it is that you're desiring is well on its way, because the pump is now primed and it's now things coming out. And all you have to do is hold it there. Continue to hold those things in your mind in order to see those things manifest in your life, or to allow yourself to manifest with those things in your life. I'm so grateful for my childhood because I've experienced things that a lot of people have not experienced. People probably would look at those things and be like, ugh, and probably consider them traumatic. But if you think about it, going back to the source, going back to ancestors, this is how they all lived. And it makes you appreciate the amenities that we have to this day. But you got to know how to use those things, just like I had to learn how to prime that pump. And once I primed that pump, I got the most delicious treat that I ever could ask for. And once you prime your subconscious pump, you can get whatever you ask for. I love you to life. This is how you manifest on purpose.